Devin, tell me about the $10,000 mistake.
Oh man, you gonna make me tell that story? This photo was promoting a big challenge that we ran. So this is probably 4 years ago. We have been doing a lot of challenges, a lot of ways to like get new clients in the door and show them what we do. And I realized I was like, we got to do something totally different. We're going to give away $10,000 to the next challenge winner, the client that loses the highest amount of body fat percentage in 6 weeks. So huge amount of promotion went behind this. We got a ton of people in the door. We were so excited. Every member was really excited about this. Just an absolute great energy around this whole challenge. We kicked it off. I think we probably had like 40 or 50 people competing. We've never seen people work harder. We've never seen, $10,000 is a significant amount of money, a life-changing amount of money for some people. So it was pretty intense. The competition was fierce for the challenge. Every week people were weighing in. We had a leaderboard and we saw one name at the top of the leaderboard throughout the whole challenge, and that was Cindy Finnegan. She had been a long-time client, and she never probably pushed herself to commit as hard as she did in this challenge. She completely dialed in her diet. She showed up every single day. She was lifting heavier and the results were showing up. She was on the top of the leaderboard every single week, and this is a client that we just love. She's been here forever. We've trained her kids. She's developed friendships. She's developed friendships with our staff. Just an absolute joy to have in the gym. Another funny story about Cindy, and Cindy, if you're watching, I hope you don't get embarrassed about this, but Cindy tore her calf coming to the gym one day because she walked in the gym and she was so excited to be in the gym and do her workout that she skipped with joy towards her workout room and tore her calf. So that is the kind of person Cindy is, just a joy to be around, so joyful that she literally skips with joy to the point of tearing her calf. So that's who Cindy Finnegan is. You can probably tell why we were so excited that she was at the top of this fierce competition. We were all rooting for her. And so we get to the end of the competition. Now, it's important for you to realize that when we do these competitions, we use our InBody 570 scan. So this is a computer device that measures body fat percentage, muscle mass, water weight, and everything else inside your body. So we were using those for the weigh-ins. And what's important to realize about the InBody is you create a username. So if I was gonna use the InBody, I would do Devin space G, and that would be my username. It would track my whole record of weight, body fat, muscle mass, water weight, all that. So we had a really clear path of every single participant, right? So we get to the end of this challenge. We're in the last week. We did the final weigh-in, and we waited a few days. We needed to make sure all the results were right, okay? So we get to that last week, final weigh-ins, everything goes silent. We don't tell anybody who won. In the meantime, me, myself, and the staff were so excited to announce that Cindy won the challenge. She had won by far, it wasn't even close. And so we were like, we have to blow this up. We have to go above and beyond for Cindy in this challenge. So what we did was Jeff Schumacher and I, we got a bottle of champagne, we got balloons. We announced that we were gonna do a Facebook live stream where we were gonna live stream announcing the winner. And what we did was we got in the car, we had myself and Jeff and a cameraman, and we drove to Cindy's house. And Cindy was there watching the live stream as we knocked on her door and announced. It was emotional. Everybody was crying. She was crying. We were crying. it was just such an emotional. I had a giant check. I had a giant $10,000 check, and we like had a bunch of photos, and we gave her the check. And what I didn't know was we had a whole group of people in the gym watching the live stream. And in the live stream, you know, we announced Cindy. We were, you know, hyping up how much, you know, how great she did in the challenge. And we were like, Cindy lost, you know, whatever it was, 8% body fat in 6 weeks. Whatever she did was phenomenal. It was unreal. So we announced the results that she got, and we were in this challenge. We were in the this group was in the gym watching the live stream, and one of the guys was like, "Wait, how much did she lose? I lost 2% more, 0.2% more than that." So we got the winner wrong, and we gave the wrong client $10,000. Probably the absolute most heartbreaking and embarrassing thing that has happened to me in my entire life. So what happened was, this guy put his name in on week one way, and on the final weigh-in, he put it in another way. So the second week or the third week, he put it in the way he was going to for the rest of the challenge. So we only had a record of like 1 or 2 weeks in till the end. So it didn't show the full amount of body fat percentage that he lost in the challenge. And he won. He lost about 0.2% more than Cindy did, fair and square. But now I had to deal with the aftermath. So again, this was one of the most hardest things I've ever had to do in my entire life, was call Cindy and tell her that she did not win this challenge. And it was just like, I still get night sweats thinking about that moment, because, and Cindy, again, we all loved her because of who she is and how she is, but she was totally understanding and felt badly for us being in that situation. And you know, we offer her some consolation things to hopefully make up for this embarrassing thing that happened. She got a bottle of champagne, obviously. And that was just one of the biggest mistakes I have ever made, and something that has made me a lot more careful with the way we do things going forward. But we came back, we announced the rightful winner, we wrote him a check, and yeah, that was the $10,000 mistake. And thank you so much, Cindy, for being who you are and being so understanding. But that was probably one of the bigger things that have happened throughout these last 10 years.
Oh man.
So here's a photo from Halloween one year. You see some familiar faces here. This is Chris Heskett, Jeff Schumacher, and myself. I'm gonna tell you the story about this outfit that poor Chris Heskett had to wear year in and year out. So we hired Chris over the years, and he was a phenomenal coach, really knowledgeable on the coaching side and fitness, and had a really unique experience because he had actually competed in bodybuilding in the past, which was a really unique thing to bring because none of us had done that. And when he joined, I'm always the idea guy, right? And a lot of times those ideas put people in positions that, you know, I'm thrusting ideas onto people and that they never would have come up with themselves, and this was one of them. So we were gonna do a video series called The Lower Back Police, because our thing at the time was like, let's reduce back pain. A lot of clients have back pain, so we did a video series, and Chris was gonna be the guy. So I bought a police outfit. Now, if you've ever seen the show Reno 911, it was a Comedy Central show. One of the characters wears these like super, super short, super tight booty shorts as his like police uniform. And I bought them. And Chris dressed up as this guy, wearing this like ridiculous Chippendales kind of like police outfit. And it was just like a funny, super awkward and embarrassing video thing that we did, because one, we had no video experience really. Chris had never done a lot of videos, and it was just like, you know, so Chris Heskett had a strong entrance to the gym because this was like really, really new when he was hired. And a lot of people remember that. And I guess, as he continued his career with Gage Strength Training, he would dress up as other things. And I guess he went full blown, character actor. And every Halloween we'd have something new. But this photo cracks me up. If you guys were here at that time, it was impossible to miss. And Chris, thank you for being a good sport, running with the ideas that I had, and be willing to subject yourself to some of this embarrassment. So speaking of Chris Heskett, I wasn't gonna tell this story, but so Chris, when he was newly hired, he was younger, he was fresh out of college, he had just moved here, and he wasn't much of a partier like some of us were. And he didn't drink at all. He was really clean cut, he had his prepackaged meals, he was super dialed in with his diet, and it was right around New Year's. So after New Year's Eve, a lot of members came back and everyone was talking about what they did New Year's Eve and did you go out? Did you stay in? Did you go to a house party? And Chris was kind of like, no, I stayed in, like whatever. I drove, so I didn't drink. And everyone was kind of like, Chris, like what do you mean you drove? Like, come on, man, it's New Year's Eve. Like, why don't you let loose? And he was like, no, like I don't really do that. And they were like, we want to take you out. So a group of people from the gym organized a bar crawl for Chris, and it became the Chris Heskett bar crawl. And it kind of grew wings, and everybody in the gym was super excited. We made t-shirts that was like Chris's face and the Chris Heskett bar crawl, and it just became this like big blow up event for a guy that like really didn't even drink or go out at all. But it was an event that really, really solidified him as part of our culture and community, and really just made him come out of his shell, because he was pretty reserved at the time. I'll tell you what, after this night, completely different animal. This guy, he really came out of his shell, really came into his own, and it was all because of the Chris Heskett bar crawl. And one of the best parts about it was the whole night we were all wearing these Chris Heskett bar crawl t-shirts, and everybody like that we ran into was like, oh, what are you doing? Like, what's this event? And we were all like, oh, it's a bar crawl for one of the guys that worked for us. And they're like, oh man, I'm really sorry to hear like that he passed away. It was like, everyone thought it was like a memorial bar crawl. We're like, oh no, he's right over there, like, super drunk at sidebar. But super fun, really fun way that we got everybody together. And I will certainly never ever forget the Chris Heskett bar crawl. I think I still have the t-shirt stuffed in my drawer somewhere. But Chris Heskett, again, thank you for being such a good sport a second time for the bar crawl. Hey guys, thank you for joining me while I share 10 years of memories from Gage Strength Training. Listen, this month is our 10-year anniversary at Gage Strength Training. So for the next 20 people that contact me, we are giving away a month's membership for only $10. So for the first 20 people, you can get an entire month of training for only $10. If you contact me at devin@gagestrengthtraining.com, we will give you an entire month of training for $10 for the entire month.